Kingston probably saved my life in some way. Kingston has given me a ton of scars. I've worked in an industry that comes with a lot of trauma, and Kingston was also a place that gave me an opportunity to heal. It's at this point something I'm incredibly proud of and something that has really changed me as a human. Keep it local, keep it here, bypass the A word.
Welcome to Support Kingston, the new show where we're talking to local business owners, community members, not-for-profits, charities, people in the arts, everybody that makes Kingston a vibrant community. By talking to local community members and hearing their stories about living in Kingston, working in Kingston, providing services to Kingstonians, we hope to shine a light on what a vibrant community this is. We hope to uncover stories that you may never have heard of, people you have never heard of, businesses you've never heard of, events that you might want to attend. And we hope that makes your life more fulfilled in the wonderful city of Kingston that we live in. Today, we've got a very special guest on our first episode. We're welcoming Tim O'Hara, local entrepreneur, business owner, federal employee, nurse, everything and anything, and a staunch supporter of local businesses and initiatives. Welcome, Tim.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is so exciting to be the first person here. And I wore my new white socks.
I'm hiding my socks down here. I was going to wear my bacon and egg socks today.
Oh, that would have won. Yeah, no.
Next time. So we're putting it out there. If you're going to be a guest on Support Kingston, wear your best socks.
Wear your best socks.
Oh, we just got back from lunch. Midland Yards, food trucks, Lucky Rabbit. What'd you have, Tim?
I had a rice wrap that was incredible. And even better than the rice wrap was meeting the owner of the food truck and listening to his conversation and telling us about his life. I mean, that really trumped the wrap for sure, but it was great.
Yeah, me too. I had some spicy, sweet and spicy noodles.
Yeah.
Cold noodles.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was. And the raspberry lemonade that he gave us.
This guy right here, I kept it.
Oh my gosh.
Raspberry and hibiscus lemonade flavored with local honey.
Local honey. Yeah, you can't go wrong. Like, that was incredible.
Yeah. I think I talked to this is what's wonderful about Kingston, I think, is these connections. That's the second time I've been there. Your first time?
My first time, yeah.
And the people there they want to chat. They want to welcome you in. They want to tell you their story. They want to know about our stories.
Yeah.
And it's an experience. It's not just lunch.
No,
right?
Absolutely not.
First time I went there wasn't anywhere to sit, and we got food and we left. Now it's expanding. There's a canopy. There's some chairs you can sit there and eat. But just so welcoming. The guys go back and forth between the various trailers.
Trucks,
and they tell you about all the food. They tell you where it came from.
Yeah.
And they're just having the time of their lives.
I know. And now we know that there's oysters on Sundays. He knew all of where they come from, explained everything. I'm definitely going to go down and try that for sure.
So there you go. Recommended. Midland Yards. Lots of different food choices there. They're new this summer. Support them.
Yeah.
So Kingston.
Yeah.
Tim, how long have you lived in Kingston?
Wow. I moved back to Kingston after going to school in Ottawa. In I think 1996, and I started working at Kingston Penitentiary. I think I was around 22 years old, and I have been here ever since. So a long time.
Born and raised here before you went to school?
No, I actually I was born near Toronto in a little place called Milton, and then we moved around quite a bit. We moved almost instantly to British Columbia. Moved all around British Columbia. Then we moved to Saskatchewan. Lived in Saskatchewan for a while. Then back to Ontario. I think by the time I hit grade 7 and I ended up in Lansdowne, we had moved about 26 times in total. 26. So yeah, lots of moves.
So you've stayed here ever since you got back from school?
This is absolutely the longest I've ever been in one place. And the house that I'm currently in is the longest I've ever been in one home, which is incredible at this point. I'm 51 now. So yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Do you think that early experience is one of the reasons why did you seek out somewhere to be grounded?
Oh, great question. No, absolutely not. My life at that point, post-school, I was set to be a travel nurse, and I was going to go down into the U.S. I have an aunt who works in Houston and lives in Houston. She's retired now. But I was ready to start a life of being a nurse, living as close to any beach as possible, learning how to surf, and that was going to be my life. But Kingston had some draws. I met a woman, I fell in love. Her family, all from Kingston, And when I asked for her hand, the reply was yes, but they would really love it if we stayed and had our family here in Kingston. And it was a no-brainer. You know, it was the right decision, and quite happy that I've stayed. And yeah, I mean, I love Kingston, so zero complaints on that. I'm sure if I had gone with the surfing, most likely I'd be dead now. So I'm happy that I stayed. Probably saved my life in some way.
Oh, we're very happy
Yes,
you quit
yes.
surfing then.
Yeah.
The community in Kingston is diverse.
Yeah.
There's lots of things going on here. It means different things to different people. You had a reason that was out with that to come here in the first place.
Yeah.
When you think about being here for the longest time that you've been anywhere for a continuous period of time, what are the emotions you feel about living in Kingston when you stop and think about this as a place for you and your family?
You know, the first thing that comes to mind is a joke that I throw out a lot. It's kind of like my prom date. Kingston is the perfect size. And that is something that she might have said to me on my prom night. But the reality of the question is, it's the people of Kingston that I've fallen in love with more than anything. Specifically related to my life and my journey, Kingston has given me a ton of scars. I've worked in an industry that comes with a lot of trauma, and that was very difficult to navigate and deal with. The reality is that if I look at it now, as I'm through a recovery phase, Kingston was also a place that gave me an opportunity to heal. For that reason, it's by far been probably one of the most supportive places for me. And in terms of its geographic location, its size, and who I've been able to meet and relate to in Kingston, for me, I can't imagine being anywhere else on this planet.
What do you put that down to? Why do you think Kingston has managed to attract this group of people that is so diverse but welcoming and supportive?
You know, I would love to have the answer to that, the secret sauce. The biggest differentiator that I've seen from any other place that I've ever lived, any other place that I've ever done business, any other place that I've ever traveled. If you look at a community and you look specifically at industry or business, when you come to Kingston, I can go into any store, whether it's my first time in, my 50th trip to buy gift cards. I feel seen and known, and I feel valued in that presence. If I'm in New York City, if I'm in Toronto, if I'm in LA, if I'm in London, I don't have the same experience. I am clearly a customer that's in and out. There's a transaction that happens and away I go. Kingston has this ability for people to feel welcomed. If I had to narrow it down to the most simple thing, I would say that businesses in Kingston, in my opinion, are much more open to collaboration versus competition. And that means that they're more welcoming and open and not so worried all the time about, you know, the basics of running a business. And for me, that's my experience. That's what I've seen. And that's what really makes me comfortable here, makes me happy to be part of what happens in this community, and what I tell other people all the time.
Like, anecdotally, it does feel like, and we'll get an economic expert on here at some point to talk about this and give us the actual stats and numbers. Just from a gut feel, it does feel like there's a lot more small, locally owned family businesses here than maybe there are elsewhere, and maybe that's part of it. And there's maybe still that village mentality where, you know, you've got the people that are the experts in the specific area, and they're there to do one job and one job only.
True.
Rather than it just being, like you said, transactional.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the economics I don't understand. I wouldn't be able to pull out stats, but I think, you know, having been part of multiple businesses in Kingston, having been part of a larger organization and an institution that is in Kingston, and I've worked at Kingston General Hospital, I've worked at local institutions. When I think about that business aspect to it, what Kingston has that other places don't always have is you can build a business in Kingston that can thrive on impact versus the profits. And that is evident here, right? I wouldn't be able to build the same businesses that I've maybe been part of in a Toronto base or a bigger urban center, because you lose that sense of community, that sense of impact. And that's really important to a lot of people. So I suspect that people thrive on their businesses and their family businesses and generational businesses here because of that impact that you can notably see versus other areas. I think that's important to people.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So thinking about living in Kingston, there's a lot going on here, especially in the summer, but even more so in the winter now. There's a lot going on in the winter now too.
They do a great job.
What's a memorable event that you've attended maybe in the last year? Why does it stand out? What was it? Who was it? Who was running it?
No brainer for me. It's probably the most recent one, but it was very memorable. There's a lovely human in town, Rachel Dornekamp. She organizes the Inclusive Kids Play event that happens. So they hosted it sort of on the north end of town. I wanted to go. There was a few businesses that I know, the owners and stuff like that, and they were setting up some stands and tents and things like that. I assumed going into it that it was just going to be the usual 12, 20, whatever people. I dragged my kids to it. We got there. It was a very hot, sunny day. I don't know, man. There must have been 100 people in attendance in terms of actual businesses there promoting themselves and really getting behind the notion of this Kids Inclusive Play project. And I was really proud of what Rachel was able to accomplish. I mean, she's a powerhouse. And I took the time to drag my kids around to almost all of the venues that were there. And I saw a lot of people that I wouldn't have expected to see there. And to me, that was a big success and a big win. And looking back from it, I think if you're somebody in the community who can have enough initiative and drive to bring that many people to the table, it was a very impressive event and something for me that when I look at it, I think I'm really proud that Kingston was able to put something like that together with, multiple goals that she's been able to accomplish in terms of that. So that's the one that stands out for me.
I don't think I heard about it. What was going on at the event?
So, everybody had different roles and did different things. But if you were an organization like Extend a Family Kingston, which helps a lot of the people in the community, they would set up a little tent or a venue, and you do promote yourself. But more so, you're about engaging with the community. And to me, that was the masterful piece behind it, right? Sometimes when you go to a golf tournament and a company wants to sponsor a hole or they want to set up a tent and give out some stuff, in my opinion, you miss the opportunity of the engagement and the connection. So all of the businesses were there, whether they hired a clown to do it, or they set up a mini putt, or they put in some sort of a game so that other kids and people that can come and attend had a chance to do an activity. That gave them a moment to create that connection with that person in the community. And then you could naturally talk about who you are, what you do, why you feel you're important to the community, and let the attendees really land on where they want to be with that. So for me, that's what we should be doing all the time, whether you're in a business or not. Connections in this community is paramount to what we do and how we thrive, both as a business, but us as a community.
It's interesting. It's interesting because it's an innovative approach to an event, which is it's almost a bit of a no-brainer when you think about it. Like we do these events that have always been done the same way, and so they become mechanical. They still have their place and they're still great. But when you see something innovative like that, you think, okay, well, it's so simple. You're just bringing community back into the event and making us, you take us out of our comfort zone. You make us think differently a little bit. And that makes the whole thing more memorable. So kudos on the innovation to the organizers. That's really cool.
It's where I see the world going right now. I meet and talk with some people that specifically when we're talking about Kingston and driving people here, and you're talking about tourism. And one of the areas that, Kingston might need to improve on, and I don't want to sound like a critic, but the world is evolving to an experiential place, right? If I'm going to take my kids on a very expensive vacation, it's not always just going to be to go to a cottage and spend solo time. I want to know about where that cottage is. I want to know what's around that cottage, Is there a local farm? Is there a local restaurant? Is there a local anything that I can do where I'm going to drag them to that? And we're going to experience the culture in that area. And I really think that was Rachel. I hope that was kind of where she was at with that, but it was getting them to be there to present, but at the same time interact and have an experience. Way better memory, way better experience, in my opinion, and something that we could all do better for everything, really.
So there you go. Tips and tricks on your next event.
Tricks, yeah.
What about something that was an event, a memorable day out, something that you did maybe with the family, maybe by yourself, just a good day out with some experiences that stick in your memory?
Sure, man. Canada Day. So a friend from public school Him and I have reconnected. He has gone off after high school, had an entire life. He's lived kind of all around the world, had a business in LA, did a lot of work in Toronto. Him and his family have migrated back to this area and they've landed on Amherst Island. And I am slightly ashamed to say that in all the years that I've been in Kingston, I have never been on Amherst Island.
I lived on Amherst Island for 1 year.
Well,
I rented down there on the South Shore. It was beautiful.
it is a gorgeous spot. So it's like this hidden gem. Now, they had invited us to come over for Canada Day, talked about the kind of island life and the celebration. And we said, yeah, it was a no-brainer. So we jumped on the ferry, which is a brand new, beautiful ferry, took a little bit of a ride over. It was 10 minutes. You get off, you drive for about 3 seconds, and then you're through the little village and town. They've got a beautiful space out on the tip where the lighthouse is. They got about 20 acres. I mean, it's gorgeous. So we had this beautiful afternoon there. They brought in some people for us to meet, which they were very lovely people. So we made a connection. And then we got to drive into the village where they do a parade for Canada Day. And a lot of the local people get in there. I saw some people from my prior life who were involved with the Firefighters Association. And this parade, which was the cutest thing you've ever seen, it lasts like 7 to 10 minutes, right? It's done. It's there. It's done. But the whole community gets behind it. We after that, we went back to Bruce and Carrie's place. We had a lovely meal. We had a lovely afternoon. We caught the ferry back before the fireworks, but we had to get back into town. But to me, like, man, what a jam-packed day filled with really cool experiences, really amazing connections. That was one of the most memorable ones I've had in a long time.
It's a real community feel out there in that little village of Stella, and you got Topsy Farms out there, like lots of stuff going on, but it's a little bit off the beaten path, but not very far away.
No, and when I'm talking about these experiential adventures, I don't imagine the Islanders would love this idea, but can you imagine putting like an Airbnb style place on that island, including in the, Topsy's Farm people and the other people on the island? Bruce is a mastermind with this kind of stuff. He's talked about it. I believe in it. I think that's something that I would love to offer more to around Kingston and have things like that. I'm sure there's more that exist that I don't even know about, but that's what I love. That's what drives me. And that's what I really love about this community.
Yeah, the diversity of experiences, the different things that you can do. Like, you can go take a cruise. You can be in a downtown thriving space with buskers, with performers. You can get out into the country. You can take a ferry to an island. There are beaches. There are just so many different experiences. It's all like really close by. And we get, whenever we have, I grew up in Europe, in the UK, we have visitors come over all the time from there, and they're just amazed that 20 minutes and now we're in a completely different place.
Yeah. And it feels like a different world. I mean, I'm ashamed to say 30 plus years, I've never been over there. Having been over there now, like I'm drawn to it, man. Like, I would love to buy property there. I'm not sure my wife would go for it or my kids, but it's an amazing spot. Like, it's so peaceful. It feels like a different world, especially when you're on the south side and you're looking out into nothing. The US is over there somewhere. You know that Wolf Island's kind of hidden over here. You know that Picton's there, but you can't see land. And that is just incredible.
Yeah, it feels like you're on the ocean, the size of the lake, obviously. And there's a bird sanctuary on the eastern side of the islands. You can drive around there, you see a lot of rare birds out there. And
that old fishing village, Bruce took me to that. Incredible, man. Like, just a lot of history that you wouldn't know about. And again, man, it was a 10-minute ferry.
Yeah, it's all just hiding there, right in plain sight.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're wondering what we're drinking today, obviously it's a local product. It's a hop water called Aqua from Spearhead, local Kingston brewery. Hop water, you might not know what it is. It's got hop extract in sparkling water. The hops taste citrusy, tastes like lemon, even though there's no lemon flavoring. It really literally is hop extract from the brewing process and sparkling water. It's super refreshing. It's my go-to. There's no paid promotion here. I just enjoy this. It's a local product. Your first time trying it?
First time trying it. Absolutely loved it. Had no idea that's what I was drinking. And I literally just came off a 72-hour water fast, and looking at the back of this, 0 calories. I could have been having this the whole time. Way better than what I was ingesting. So no, this is great. I will absolutely pick some up.
Yep. I stock my fridge with a 2-4 of it as often as I can. It's a great, it stops me drinking as much alcohol too. It helps.
Love it.
Support Kingston's podcast is new. Support Kingston's been around since 2020, but the podcast is new and we don't know what we don't know. We want to shine a light on Kingston and businesses and people and charities and not-for-profits and everything that's going on in Kingston. But we want it to be for you. So in the comments, you let us know what you want us to talk about, who you want us to talk to, what issues you want to hear about, where you want to go deep and learn more about what's going on in Kingston. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. That really helps us out. And I think that helps us to share more stories from Kingston, which is important for our community. There are a lot of, like we've already talked about a lot of people, but there are a lot of folks doing really cool stuff and great stuff and meaningful stuff in Kingston. Who do you think of? And there's so many, so I'm not asking you to pick a favorite.
No, that's fair.
But like think of one person who's doing admirable things that you would maybe consider a pillar of the community.
That's a tough question. Because of Support Local Giveaway and Shop Local Kingston, I meet a ton of business owners. Honestly, the one that's coming to mind, Rob Lake. I don't know if you know Rob.
I don't.
So Rob Lake and his family have owned Dow's Climate Care. And traditionally, they weren't in Kingston. They've come into Kingston with a bit of a passion for helping the community and building out his business. But it's how he's approached that growth strategy, which has really impressed me. I met Rob at a Rotary function. He had sponsored, he had a specific table. He really gets behind initiatives in community like that. First interaction with him, lovely human being, seemed very genuine. We didn't talk a lot of business. We talked more about family. We talked more about community. Post that, I have been watching him from afar as he has really leveraged strong relationships in Kingston, strong organizations like the Rotary Club, people like Marcy, who you know. He hired on Don Van Duzen, who, a lot of respect for that guy. He lives in my community right around the corner. So how he's been able to carry this business, never losing sight of the importance of making those connections in his community, knowing that this is the community that he wants to serve. The last thing that has impressed me the most is, and I think I wish a lot of businesses would do this, he had floor space. And, he's in heating and cooling. So not a lot of people go to his place to, look at the new air conditioner they're going to buy. It's all done on site, all done online. So he had floor space. So his idea was, I'm going to approach local vendors who don't have real estate, brick and mortar, and I'm going to give them space in my shop so that other people from the community who do have to come here or want to come here can see their art, their crafts, their displays. To me, I love that. Like that is real good use of real estate and shows me the kind of person that he is and the kind of business they are. So for me right now, even though the list is probably thousands long, for what I've just witnessed with Rob and his team, they walk the walk. They believe in it, and they're putting in the effort that shows me that they really care about this.
Fantastic. Not an answer I would have expected.
No.
And that's what, and I'm sure there's a million other stories like that. And, and this is part of what we want to do is bring these stories to light. Like let's hear about this, and we'll pop information about all of this in the show notes below so you can find out more about it. So you've done a lot of work in the supporting local business space, especially since 2020.
Yeah.
What is, like, for someone to put so much time and effort, you're very busy, you're doing a lot of other things, for you to put this much time, effort, money, sweat equity into supporting local businesses, it must be really key to who you are. And what do you put that down to? What does supporting local businesses mean to you, and why is it such a passion project for you?
Honestly, I chalk it up to timing. In 2019, I was lucky enough to get a little bit of a promotion at work into a role that historically wasn't as important as it could be. It was the regional manager of public health. And then, as everybody knows, the world changed, right? And it became a pretty important role. But at the same time, I'm on a panel, I'm listening to people, I'm learning about coronavirus and then COVID and what the changes were going to be, and hear things like flatten the curve. And as somebody at the time who was a business owner in Kingston, but had a lot of friends who also were business owners, I knew what was going to happen to these businesses, and I knew the impact that was going to happen. At the same time, I was blessed, right? I say blessed, but it was a lot of work. But I'm in a government job. My job is safe. I'm getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. And because of the role I was in, you get put into basically being on call 24/7. You have to keep COVID out of the institutions, working with a lot of organizations. So it was a quick and easy decision for me at the time. I went to my family. I said, I've got an old van. Do we buy a new van with all this overtime? Or are you guys okay if I use that to buy gift cards from businesses that are struggling, give them a little bit of a lifeline, and then we'll give those gift cards away to our friends and family as a way for them to have a reason to go out into the community again. And what I learned from that, honestly, Dave, is I always thought it was about the gift card. And I promise you, what I've learned over the last 5 years of giving away, I don't even know, over 3,000 gift cards, over $300,000 worth of purchase gift cards, it has nothing to do with the gift card. All the feedback that I get, all of the people that I meet, all of the conversations that I have and the connections that I make have really made it clear to me that it gave people something to do in a period where they were a bit lost and a little bit scared. It gave people a reason to go back out and reconnect with a community that they didn't really recognize after all that went on. And then for some people, it was quite deeper than that. I've got, I've got a lovely story of a woman who came to me. She has been faithfully playing Support Local Giveaway pretty much since we started. She has a very long streak. She's won multiple gift cards, multiple awards, and she recently had to pick some up, and she shared some pretty devastating news about something that's happening in her family. And that alone was, tough to hear. But the flip side is she decided to open up and trust me and tell me that not only were these gift cards something that in a horrible period in her family's life, that she was dealing with what nobody wants to deal with, it gave them a reason that they couldn't ignore to go out and get into the community and feel normal and belong. And that was like amazing to hear, but pretty impactful. The second one was that her family has to go through treatments for the next little while, and she won a hotel stay. And I asked her, have you used the hotel stay? And she said, I'm saving it until the fall so that we're going to be done our treatments, and this is the reward, and this is where we get to go. And that is through this platform. And that is not something I would have predicted or saw coming. That's the impact, and that's why it's way more than just a gift card. So it's at this point something I'm incredibly proud of, and something that has really changed me as a human from day one to now, and something that I'm really proud of, that we are going to continue to shape what this project is, and we're going to provide more impact for this community and hopefully other communities.
Because it all comes down to the people in the end,
people.
right? Like this is all people and their businesses and their visions and their expertise and how they can service other people in the community. And that's
100%.
what it comes down to, right? So the community of being able to go out, and where we had lunch today at the Midland Yards, it was a conversation. It felt like an event. Just going out for lunch together felt like an event because the people cared.
Absolutely.
And that's what it comes down to. When your dollars go online to the unnamed and the unnoticed, it's not the same experience. You're not affecting the people in your community. You're not going out and seeing the gratitude for that.
No. I call it the A word. That's what I term it. And I look at the A word has figured it out. They've made it too easy to not shop online with them, right? Mm-hmm. And, it's hard to compete with that. And when you look at Kingston and you know that we have very similar products that you can find on the A word, and we have them locally. And what we don't currently have is a really great system of this one-stop shop online marketplace. And that is what drove me to go, screw you, JB. Screw you. We can do this. We can do this as a community, and I'll be happy if this is a success and that people have an alternative to go to when they want to shop online. That they can think in their head when they're logging into their computer, screw A word, right? Yeah, they got it figured out, but there's a definite option here in Kingston. And so if we can shop Kingston local and we can have that available store ready to go, and you have the option to pick it up, have it delivered, why would you not want to gravitate towards that, right? Why keep feeding that beast and his beautiful second wife and their massive wedding and everything else that's going on? No, man, keep it local, keep it here, bypass the A word.
Yeah, it's almost always possible. It just takes a little bit of reprogramming ourselves.
Yeah.
This is our new camera here. This camera right here, we needed a new camera.
Right.
And we looked around and we found it. And then we said, oh, well, we could just order that and it'll be here in a couple of days.
Sure, of
but
course.
we didn't. We picked up the phone
Man.
and we called Don at Camera Kingston and said, hey,
Yeah.
you got this in stock? He said, absolutely, I have that in stock. And I said, that's great. This is the thing that we want. These are the combinations of product that we want. He said, I'll have it for you.
Yeah.
Come in Monday, it'll be ready. And I'm going to price match the big guy too, which we didn't ask him to do. We went in, we had a conversation, we learned more about him and about his business. He learned more about us and our business.
Yeah.
And we made a connection. And, I actually have to send him a follow-up email because we need to order some batteries for this camera now.
Perfect.
But it's that easy. I can go home tonight and find those batteries somewhere else and order them. But, I can go downtown and buy them directly from Don.
Yeah.
And then walk down the street to Northside and get a coffee.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And sample it. We saw each other
I know,
downtown
yeah.
earlier this year. It was like, okay, I'm just walking downtown. There's a thrill of just being downtown amongst that bustle of people. It's a different style of golden hour when you're down there just as the businesses are opening up and the coffee rush is on. There's something about that downtown.
Oh yeah, I love it. If I have an appointment downtown, I now make a point of parking as far away as possible. And because I buy a lot of gift cards, and I'll walk to my destination or my meeting, making sure to stop in as many spots along the way, buy a gift card, buy two, whatever, and make a connection while I'm doing it. It's changed my life. Like, it's honestly changed my life.
Yeah.
And I would be lying if I said I never shopped on A Word. Like I said, they've made it too convenient. There are some things that it's just easier to get there. But man, the pride that I get if I'm buying it from local is it outweighs that significantly. The impact and the connection, that's what feeds me, man.
Yeah. If you can lift your head up and look around and see what we've got and make that, like I do the same thing. I park further away and I walk and like, what? There's always something new.
Oh, I know.
The new store all the time, a new restaurant, new coffee shop, or this one's moved from here to here. And there's just so much going on. It make it part of the journey. It's not just about the product and the consumerism. It's about go feel it, get out into the crowds.
I love it. Yeah, agree.
Well, Tim, thanks for sharing your time, your insights, your wisdom, your stories, most importantly, with us. Thank you for supporting Kingston. Everything Tim's talked about today, the folks, the businesses, the events, we're going to link in the show notes. Please do support those businesses and people by going and clicking and learning more and reading more. Just that in and of itself will fulfill you even more than just watching us talk about it. So please do go visit those links. And again, provide us your feedback in the comments. We want to know what you think about this episode. It's okay. We're thick-skinned. Tell us what you want to hear about in future episodes. Drop links to businesses you want to hear more about, people that you think we should interview. And most of all, thanks for watching and thanks for supporting Kingston.